bringing it to them all day. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Win or lose, we bringing it to you always. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Orange or black, we rebuild the pack. No matter where we at, you know we coming back. Section 336, we on this, so tune in. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Yeah, welcome to Birdland. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Now, here come the boys from Section 336.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Baltimore sports fans of all ages, welcome to Section 336, Next Generation of Baltimore Sports Talk. I am your listening host, Matt Soroka. As always, I'm joined by the button lover, Josh Soroka.
Matt just unplugged his cord.
What, I did?
So nobody can hear him as he's talking.
I didn't unplug my cord. Still says I'm hooked up to the mic. Are you sure? Can you hear me now? Oh, man. Now I can't hear you. Well, let me try one more time. No, I still can't hear you. I can't hear you at all. You can hear me? Oh, that's bizarre. This is weird. Why can't I hear you? What are my settings are hooked up to? Yeah. You test the speakers, it works. I still can't hear you. Annoying. What is happening?
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
So we're okay now?
Can you
Yes.
hear me? Okay.
All right. So why don't you restart with the intro?
All right.
Let me just
We'll
mark
do it live.
All right,
Ladies
go
and
ahead.
gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Section 336, Next Generation of Baltimore Sports Talk. I am your dealing starting host, Matt Soroka. As always, I'm joined by the button lover, Josh Soroka.
Hey, Matt. How you doing?
Oh, I'm pumped. Another Monday, which means another week closer to spring training. Let's go.
Oh, it's our last week. It's Super Bowl's over. It's officially baseball season.
Nice.
And what pitchers and catchers report Wednesday. First workout on Thursday.
Nice. Can't wait to see some pictures. But before we get there, we got a podcast today, so we're going to spend an hour breaking down the halftime show. Can't wait to get into it with you, Josh.
All right. Good, because I liked it.
Oh.
I'm told maybe I won't like some of the messaging, but I liked the performance.
Mm.
You know what? The Super Bowl performance yesterday made me feel young because I enjoyed it, not the old people that were putting it down.
There's certainly a generational gap here in the appreciation of the Super Bowl halftime show.
Yes.
This fascinates me every year. I can't get over it. Social media fascinates me to a certain extent, why people spend so much time posting social media. But then everyone and their mother has to come out of the woodworks to share their thoughts on the Super Bowl halftime show.
But their thoughts are always the same, worst or best.
Yeah, it's always very extreme.
Right.
And so how am I supposed to know if it was good or not when it's either the best Super Bowl halftime show ever or trash.
But at the same time, they will all agree on the best Super Bowl performance of halftime because they always bring it up. They always complain, and then they list this other one as the best one.
Oh yeah.
Do you know which
Prince?
one? Prince. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Prince. It's always Prince.
Yeah, I had a Katy preference. Katy Perry was my preference.
And
But-
I think Beyonce
Hey, that's pretty good.
is
one.
hard to beat.
Yeah, she didn't crush the lights. But yeah, but no, it was a bad Super Bowl. Thanks, Chiefs, for ruining the Super Bowl by being terrible.
Yeah.
Shout out to you all.
Yeah, it was definitely not what anyone was expecting.
Yeah, no, it was like a coin flip game according to Vegas.
And the commercials. Can you explain to me how? Well,
yeah, they were
what,
good this year.
what was your favorite commercial?
Oh, I loved all of them. Probably the one with the what was the one with grandma going into the lava in the wheelchair?
I don't know.
Okay, I don't even know what commercial that was. That was I have to check my text messages with you and Dad. But no, that one was great. There was so many good ones to choose from. I don't even know where to begin. The Dunkin' Donuts, was that okay?
That was fine.
The Starbucks rivalry. Why?
Well,
I know you loved them. What was your favorite?
Well, here's my question for you about the commercials.
Yeah.
There was the one early on where Eugene Levy's eyebrows fly off.
Oh yeah, that was
for
a good
Little
one too.
Caesars. All right?
Yeah, that was a good one too.
And that one made me
His
laugh.
eyebrows going everywhere.
But why is it that the next quarter we had mustaches flying off for the Pringles? For the Pringles ad. What is going on? It's like A Bug's Life and ants coming out at the same time. How did two commercials by two different companies decide we're going to take this facial hair and it's going to fly off of our people?
You think it was more than a coincidence?
I think same ad agency, maybe. Maybe
Eyebrows are in,
ChatGPT.
Josh. It's 2025. Eyebrows are in. Big bushy eyebrows are in.
Yeah, and the mustache was the same way. It was the Pringles guy mustache.
Yeah. No, to be honest, Josh, I missed the Pringles commercial. I stopped watching for the most part after the halftime show, and I wasn't really paying that much attention to the commercials, or to the game, to be honest. So
No, it was very boring game.
I missed a lot of stuff.
I had some TMOS squares, so I was keeping track of that and then paying the
Okay.
people, and that kept me busy during the game.
Yeah, I went over a friend's house to watch it, and so I was just kind of hanging out. And then we left at halftime, like everyone does.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
nothing
right.
special.
That's our football show. But yeah, spring training is upon us.
Yeah. Did you see the picture of the boys at Disney World over the weekend?
Yes.
With it was
Some Star Wars.
Adley, Westberg, Colton Cowser,
Yeah.
Gunnar Henderson, Ryan Mountcastle.
Yeah.
It's pretty special that we have guys that are close enough friends, and their wives are friends that they all go on a little vacation together.
Yeah. And they're all kind of nerdy too, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Oh, how much time do you think they spent at the Lego store over in Disney,
Yeah.
or maybe a trip to Lego Land?
Yeah. Between Star Wars and Legos, they were loving life, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I think that's something that makes this team different than other teams we've seen in the past year.
Yeah. Is that going to keep us from getting swept in the first round of the playoffs, Josh? Is that
No,
Cool
that's
little
gonna come down to
partnership.
that's gonna need to happen. That's gonna need some Grayson Rodriguez.
Yeah. Because no, I agree with you. They seem to have. I mean, I think Michael Elias has a type.
Yeah. Yes.
And so it's cool that they get along. And this is kind of the same group that also kind of grew up together in the minors for the most
Right.
part. Maybe not Ryan Mountcastle, but the others. And they seem like fun-loving, kind of lighthearted.
Yeah. It looks
People that
it
get
looks
along
to
well.
me like if the kids from the Sandlot just kept playing together and grew
Yeah.
up together. It's like
Yeah,
it's the
yeah.
same people you always play with.
It's true. Like they're more likely to spend their Friday night not in a strip club, but playing Dungeons and Dragons somewhere
Right.
with one another.
And they've all been through the same stuff. It's around the same time together. So had each other's backs at single A, double A, triple A, all the way up. So I see that, and that's one of those things that no one will ever be able to quantify on a piece of paper or stats. that I think makes our team better. It's like when you and I play softball together. We play better in the infield if we're together and can play off each other.
Maybe, but sometimes we get annoyed with each other because we know
Well,
each other
yes.
so well, and that could lead to worse play.
It does.
Maybe in behind the
But you're-
scenes, Colton Cowser lost a Lego piece that belonged to Jordan Westberg, and now there's some tension
And-
about this missing Lego piece.
And Adley stepped on it.
Yeah, Adley stepped on it and is out for a game, and we have to rely on Gary Sanchez
We're
in
gonna
a
have
big
a Lego.
series against the Yankees, all because of a dropped Lego piece.
Well, no, we might get Gavin Sheets. We can rely on him.
I saw that rumor. That Gavin Sheets. Can I just say Gavin Sheets is a bum? I would rather have a Sheet than Gavin Sheets. And so I'm glad that never turned into anything because that would have been a
It
disaster.
sounds like the rumor is that he's still trying.
Okay, no. Well, there's zero chance.
Okay.
It's not happening. I mean, I
Right.
assume it'd be like a salary dump for the White Sox, but
Yeah.
that's not happening.
Did you all right. Well, speaking of this team, did you see the Fangraphs projections?
Oh,
That
I
came
saw.
out.
I got Vegas odds. I came prepared
Vegas-
with Vegas odds. I don't know what
Vegas
Fangraphs
is-
are.
Vegas is friendlier than Fangraph.
Yeah,
tell you that.
Fangraphs always hates the Orioles.
So Fangraph wrote an article along with the release,
Sure.
and they wrote in there about the Orioles that it's a meme at this point how much the Orioles outperform Fangraphs.
Yeah. Was there any explanation for why that happens?
No.
Why they're always so wrong?
No,
Okay.
no good explanation. Just acknowledging like that they're always wrong because
How many wins does Fangraph have?
83.
Oh yeah, that's well below what Vegas has.
Vegas, I believe, is 91, right?
88.5.
Okay, 88.5 came down a little. And Fangraphs has them at 44% chance of making the playoffs,
Okay.
where I believe Vegas has them second best chance in the American League.
Yeah, they have the Orioles at the second best record
Yes,
at 88.5 wins, only behind the Yankees, who they have at 93.5 wins.
right. So, well, Vegas, I would trust Vegas numbers over Fangraphs. In fact, I was talking about the Fangraphs one, and I said, if the over-under is 83, I will go put $1,000 on the over. This team's not going to play 500 ball.
Yeah, the only thing that would have me a little concerned is if you look at the AL East, the Yankees at 93.5, that sounds about right.
Right.
The Red Sox, they have at 85.5. And I think the Red Sox, I mean, they got Crochet, they got Walker Buehler. I think the Red Sox are going to be better than 85.5. And then they have the Rays at 80.5. And I feel like the Rays always tend to find a way to finish over 500. I know they were a game below 500 last year, but I feel like the Rays are always better than we think they are. So I think the Rays are going to go over the 80.5 number. I think the Blue Jays is going to be interesting because I think they stink. But I think the one thing that could trip us up is, I mean, the AL East, I think, is a really good division this year. The Red Sox got better. The Rays are going to be good. The Yankees got better. Or the Yankees, I guess, stayed just as good or got better, depending on kind of how you argue it. So I just think the AL East is going to be a challenge.
No, I agree.
But yeah, I think
over 500.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, we can get some bold predictions. I haven't really thought about a record.
No,
But
we'll get
last
to
year
it.
we won 91 games.
Right. The year before
and
that,
it's-
we won 101.
Yeah. And I know we lost Corbin Burns, but
And Anthony Santander.
yeah, in Santander. Yeah. All right, so fine. 88.5.
No, that's crap.
I have a couple of notes here I want to get to.
All right.
We didn't talk last week, which is my bad. I just, you go through those spurts of work, and I'm still experiencing a little bit where just things get so busy, and then you get caught up in the busy work, and then you get behind on the everyday stuff. So now I'm
Yep.
just catching up on the everyday stuff. One of those type deals.
Yep. No, I totally get that. It was all right to take a week off. It meant all my energy got focused on to Birdland today.
Yeah, I'm getting the newsletter now.
Good. I think the newsletter is a nice collection of links and stuff for the Orioles. It's what I read them throughout the day, and then at 4:00 every day, I send it out.
Yeah, it's like my research going on to the Orioles news right before the episode, right before doing this podcast. It's
That's
like the newsletter does the job.
exactly. It's my own show prep, a daily show prep. So that's how I do it. And people, if you want, you can sign up for it by clicking on newsletter up in the corner on section336.com.
Yeah, it's good. Before we get into the Orioles news, and there was some Orioles news actually we got to get to. A couple of my notes I wrote down here.
Yeah.
Hey, last week I finally bought the new Madden. It finally dropped
Okay.
to the $20 price point, which is my price
Not
point.
bad.
And so I bought it. It's the first time I had Madden. I had the 2021 Madden, and so this is my first upgrade since 2021. And can I
Okay.
say this 2025 Madden compared to 2021, it's the exact same video game. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
nothing
Those
has
shinier
changed.
graphics. No.
Yeah, the graphics are even the graphics are kind of the same too. It's not even like there's.
The zany
I
one
don't even know
texted
what
me
I'm
this-
playing.
The zany one texted me this week asking for advice because he is buying a PlayStation so that he can get the new MLB The Show with Gunnar Henderson on the cover.
Oh, nice.
So, will you be getting the show this year? Because
See, I got the
he's
show
ready to
last
do a
year.
tournament.
Usually, I wait a couple of years to
I
get the
know.
new one.
but it's Gunnar edition.
Yeah. Well, and I told myself, here's the deal. I'm not going to buy the show, the next one, until I got the show, 2 years ago? And I did Road to the Show, and I'm still stuck in Norfolk. I'm not getting the new show till my guy gets caught up to the majors. And then I might get the new show.
Then-
Okay, because
then
I've been
you might-
working years to get my guy up
All right.
at the call up. He's
I
just
think they let
struggling
you
at
transfer.
Norfolk.
I think they let you transfer it year to year. Like move your guy over to the new one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The
I believe
problem
that's
is,
a feature.
you ever do Road to the Show?
No, because the angle of like the position player when you're playing defense is like a pain and hard.
Oh,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
it's no problem. It's kind of boring, but they just hit it right to me.
Yeah, it is boring.
The defense is boring, but the thing I don't like about it is I'm on the hard setting called dynamic, which
Okay.
changes. It gets harder
Yeah.
and easier depending on how you do.
Yeah.
But I think it's all screwed up because I do dynamic and I get one hit and it like shoots up too extremely hard, and then I strike out 5 times and like it doesn't move at all.
Right.
And so what happens is I'll get like 3 hits, and then it gets to a level where I just can't get hit. I can't hit anymore because it's too hard. I just strike out all the time. But my dynamic rating just goes down so slowly that I'm hitting like 100 before it goes down at all. So that's where I'm at right now.
Oh, I was.
So you know what I got to do? I got to go and do my franchise mode and then play in a franchise game and just strike out on purpose over and over and over again until
So
my
that you'll
rating
drop?
goes down low enough that I can switch back to my Road to the Show and play with them.
But then
And that's why I'm still playing it 2 years later.
But your guy's never gonna get caught up if you keep struggling.
I know. That's why I go to the franchise mode and strike all the time to lower my rating enough. So then I go back in the show with a lower dynamic rating, hit a bunch of home runs till it gets too high. Then I go back to the franchise
Right.
mode.
But that's what
strike
I'm
out a
saying.
bunch.
But every time you strike out a bunch in the franchise mode means you're not gonna get caught up.
No,
'Cause
no,
you
no,
suck.
no. This is a separate thing. It's not has nothing to
okay.
do with my Road to the Show.
Oh, all right. Oh, I see what you're saying. It's 2 separate games, 2 different modes. You play. All right, gotcha.
But it tracks my rating through both.
Right. Okay. Yours rated, not the characters.
Right.
Gotcha.
All right.
All right. So that's a maybe
Yeah, it's a
that you'll get the game.
Yeah, I'm definite maybe on that one. Did Bobby Witt Jr. get snubbed? Why isn't Bobby Witt Jr. on the cover? Isn't he a better shortstop than Gunnar?
Some people would say Gunnar was rookie of the year, though, right?
What's that?
But
Yeah,
Gunnar-
Gunnar was rookie of the year. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why he's on the cover.
Well, he's sharing it with 2 other people.
Yes. Yeah. Skeen and what's his name? Because it's pitching, speed, and pitching, defense, and offense.
Yeah. It's just fine. Spread the love. De La Cruz, right? Isn't that the
Yeah, that's the defense
Yeah.
or speed, whatever they're showing off.
Yeah. All right. One other note. Did you watch the Pro Bowl this year?
No.
Okay. Silas was super into the Pro Bowl, and he was like running out telling me about what was happening.
This was Peyton Manning coaching versus Eli, right?
Yeah, and then I started watching it, and I kind of got into it too.
No, it's the Pro Bowl.
It was a stupid flag football, Josh. But then they would take breaks, like in between quarters, and do like field goal kicking contests. Like Marlon Humphrey was like doing a field goal competition where he had to kick balls into buckets, and there was bowling and.
That sounds more like an episode of American Gladiator.
Yeah, it was kind of cool though. Silas was super into it, and I got a little bit into it.
All right,
I know you're not supposed to say that. Hot take: the Pro Bowl was kind of okay this year.
Remind me next year. I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's not bad, even without all the best players.
Are you okay with MVP Josh Allen? We're back and forth between baseball, football.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I think all the stats pointed to Lamar.
Yeah.
And I think this who are the better supporting cast is just this nonsense thing people have never talked about before, and now they're all starting bringing it up.
And they're given odd reasons for no one's telling the truth about why they voted for Josh Allen.
What's the truth?
That Lamar got it 2 years in a row. They're spreading the love.
Oh, yeah. If Lamar hadn't gotten the MVP award before, he would have gotten it this year.
Yeah, it's almost like a lifetime achievement award for Josh Allen.
Yeah, you get voter fatigue. Yeah. Also, Lamar Jackson has a good chance to win it next year. This might probably be Josh Allen's only shot at it.
And the fact that they give it after playoffs, I think, also doesn't bode well for Lamar, who's now got this. Everyone knows he sucks at the playoffs.
Yeah, but they do all the voting before the playoff ends.
Do they? Are you sure?
But the weird thing that everyone's talking about, and I don't know how all this works, but they said the same people who vote for the All-Pro team vote for the MVP, and the All-Pro team, they put Lamar Jackson as the All-Pro quarterback. But so everyone thought that Vegas thought Lamar Jackson would then be the MVP, but they went a different way.
Yeah, it's hot.
I think you overthink it maybe or something. I don't know. Just weird. If you look at every stat, Lamar Jackson. So.
All right, whatever. So now back to the Orioles.
Yeah. A couple notes.
We signed a couple guys.
Yeah. The big signing seems to be Ramon Laureano.
Yeah, this is the one. This is the one that has a lot of people scratching their head as well.
This is the one to me that makes perfect sense.
He's another right fielder.
Right.
All right. So now who's playing right field? Tyler O'Neill?
Who's playing right field? Yeah, it's Tyler O'Neill.
Or is it Heston Kjerstad?
No, Heston Kjerstad's playing. Yeah. Tyler O'Neill's playing left field, and Heston Kjerstad's playing right field.
Then where's Colton Cowser?
Colton Cowser? He's playing left field too. You know, the righty-lefty thing. Tyler O'Neill's a right-handed hitter. O'Neill's a left-handed hitter.
Then where is Ramon Lorenzo?
Loreno is playing right field with Heston Kjerstad because Loreno smashes left-handed pitching. It's a right-handed hitter who smashes left-handed pitching.
Right.
So Heston Kjerstad, who's a lefty, will get a break from lefties, and Ramon Laureano will go in there.
But I thought Tyler O'Neill was splitting with Kjerstad in right field.
No, he's splitting with Cowser.
So now you've got Cowser you're going to put on a platoon as well?
Not platoon, just occasional, breaks.
How many outfielders are you having on this bench?
Well, there's those 5.
I think you listed 6.
No, those are my 5. We got Mullins, Cowser, Kjerstad, O'Neill, Laureano. Those are 5 above average outfielders. I love it. Let's rock it.
So you're going to have 2 outfielders on your bench.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know we also got this guy, what's his name? Dylan Carlson, who signed or something?
Yeah, that's another right fielder.
Yeah, he's a Norfolk. He's a Norfolk guy. He's not serious.
Okay. So
he's not serious.
So he's a depth piece.
Yeah, he's Norfolk. Ramon Laureano is a major league hitter against lefties. So he is your perfect platoon guy. And then...
All right, so you like Laureano.
Yeah, I like him. And I like O'Neill. I like all our outfielders. I mean, I think we have 5 good outfielders. Now, is this going to squeeze our bench a little bit?
What?
Maybe, but
All right. And what about Kobe Mayo?
right, like that's the guy who's probably going to get squeezed by all this.
Yeah, I mean that's what's weird. Is just I thought we had these positions set up, and now we have. I think Colton Cowser's an everyday guy. So it's. I guess you give him a random off day, and then you move him to center to give Cedric a random off day.
Yeah, and listen, I think I think it's possible that Cedric Mullins, based on what we've seen last year, maybe you want to platoon him a little bit more, and put Cowser in center and Tyler O'Neill out there and do a little more platooning with Cedric Mullins because of his struggles the past couple of years. So maybe Cedric Mullins doesn't play 150 games this year. Maybe Cedric Mullins plays 100 games this year, depending on how things go. I just like that. I like the fact that you have options and depth now. So yeah, I'm a big fan of the move, and I don't understand everyone saying, "Well, this means you have to trade somebody." What? Because you got another good player? I don't really understand that.
If they all expect to play at the major league level, then you've got too many.
Josh, they're all not going to play every day, right?
Right. But you're saying you're gonna have 2 outfielders on your bench.
Yeah. Josh, I just looked it up. Cedric Mullins against left-handed pitching last year.
Yes.
Hit 196.
All right. Put Colton Cowser in center on those days.
Right? Put Colton Cowser in center. And then you put O'Neill in left. And you put Laureano in right. And that's a much better, starting outfield versus lefties.
Now with the wall moved in, it's a little less space to cover as well. So not as much of a second center field.
Right. True. And Ramon Laureano is a pretty fast. He has above average speed, along with Cowser, along with O'Neill. So our outfielder actually, Kerr, that's the only person I would say that's not above average in the outfield.
And that's, I guess, Kersted's the guy and Mayo are the 2 guys I'm concerned about, because how do you get Kersted enough playing time to get comfortable in the big leagues?
Well, I don't think this impacts Kersted, because Laureano, I think, is a strictly platoon guy who's going to hit against lefties. And so Kersted might not hit against lefties every day. And I'm okay with that. This year, if you want to rock him more against righties, he'll see more righties than lefties anyway.
And he'll be at DH occasionally too.
Yeah. So, I like this in terms of roster flexibility. And I'm sure, Manager Hyde is licking his chops at all the lefty-righty potentials now with this outfield.
Right. Oh, I'm sure his lineups are given to him by computer.
And our outfield depth at Norfolk is not good, by the way.
Well, it's Enrique Bradfield, and it's Dylan Beavers. Isn't he having pretty good, or is he still pretty young?
Yeah, both those guys ended last year in Bowie, I'm pretty sure.
I think Bradfield, they're talking about. Bradfield did get a spring invite. I think he might get a call up mid-season.
Zero chance. I think there's a very small chance. Unless he put on some weight and can hit with some amount of power, I just think he's too far away. He's good defensively, but he made it to Bowie last year for 27 games. That's it. He's only played 27 games in Double-A. And so he's going to make the shot from Double-A to Triple-A to the majors all this year. He's going to have one heck of a year. Okay. So I don't see Enrique Bradfield as, I see him as a 2026 fighting for a spot. And again, if you look at his numbers, even at Bowie, he hit well and got on base a lot, but the power numbers are a little bit concerning. Even if you look at his time, I know it was just a short time at Bowie, but only hit 1 home run, 4 doubles,
a 287 batting average.
Yeah. He hit the ball well, but you want to see him hit with a little bit more power,
right? No, but his whole thing is getting on base and the speed, and he had a good OBP.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just don't think. That's 27 games at Bowie.
I know. I just wonder. I think speed. He might come up and be like the future Mateo.
Okay, but I think he has
You think
to prove it in the
more
minors first. He
preparing.
still has some work to do. I would be
Okay.
surprised if he's able to make the jump from Bowie to Norfolk to the majors this year.
All right.
Maybe.
Do you think of those non-roster invites, there's pitchers that we don't know, but the other guys, do you think any of them makes the jump this year? Do you think we see Samuel Basello by the end of the year?
No. I mean, he's in a similar situation than Bradfield. Now, he's got a lot more, obviously a lot higher of a ceiling than Bradfield, but he just got a kind of a sniff at Bowie last year. So, again, he would have to kind of torch through Bowie and get the call up to Norfolk within a couple of months to have a shot. I don't see it happening.
How much time did he play at Norfolk last year?
Basello?
Yeah.
0.
No, 21 games.
At Norfolk?
Yeah, 21 games at Norfolk.
Oh, okay, I stand corrected. I don't have his things in front of me. I just thought
I remember him making the jump up to Norfolk.
Okay.
So 21.
Okay, so he did play 21 games.
Yeah.
Wow, at Norfolk. I forgot about that. Okay.
He struggled. It was a low 222 batting average. So he did struggle with the jump.
Yeah, but that tells you I assumed he would be starting at Bowie this year, but no, he'll start at Norfolk this year then.
Yeah, he'll start at Norfolk, 3 home runs. He'll start at Norfolk. That's why I'm saying if something happens, he might make the jump by the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean he's still 20. He's still just 20 years old.
Right.
I wonder but Josh, does what happened last year with all our prospects, Holiday, Mayo, and their struggles, does that give you a little bit of pause?
A little bit. And it makes me then think, well, these guys aren't going to force their way up. They're going to be up if there's an injury or something.
Yeah, I think that's a more likely scenario. If something happens to Sanchez or Rutschman in July, and Basello's playing well, I could see that scenario play out.
Right.
And in terms of other non-roster invitees, I mean, that's the only really highly regarded prospect. I think that's
Maverick Hanley got invited, but he's not huge.
He's a depth catcher
because of another catcher. And I think on the you do have Dylan Beavers who got an invite, who's got a decent, and Judd Fabian. Both those guys have decent upsides, but they're not ready. They're not major league ready. They're Norfolk guys. Taran Vavra was one of the moves this week, and you can throw Livian Soto right in there with him as depth.
Yeah, good to see Vavra back.
Yeah. So no, there's no exciting.
Yeah, it's not like years past.
No.
Yeah, and that's I think also a sign of our farm system right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing is our farm system it's not that it's bad. It's just
it's poo-poo.
It showed up in the majors.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. And even in the arms, there's no one there that really is. You're kind of dying to watch to see if he can make the jump. Yeah, the most exciting players going to be watching is Enrique Bradfield and Samuel Basello. Those are the two guys you're watching in spring. And I don't think either of them have a realistic shot of making it out of spring training, even if they have great springs. But they certainly will be interesting to watch.
Right. They're guys to keep your eye on, but no one.
Yeah, get some good experience.
Yeah. Do you know anything about this pitcher the Orioles signed with a minor league option yesterday, Carlos Hernandez? He has control issues. He throws about 98, 90 miles per hour is his average.
That sounds good.
Yeah. It's a minor league deal. He came from Kansas City. Dylan Coleman is his name. I realized I never said his name.
Oh, he was the guy that didn't Houston put him on waivers?
I believe so.
Yeah, I looked at his stats. And the stats weren't good. He had some success, high strikeout rate in the minors.
Right, because it's all speed.
Yeah. So he was released by the Astros in August. And so, a minor league deal. He seems like a perfect minor league guy, right?
Right, like a guy
deal. If you can figure out the fastball,
and I
get
feel
him to
like
be more consistent. Sure.
That's totally a pitcher thing. Like everyone thinks they can fix a pitcher. That it's always mental or something, or the right coach isn't talking to them.
Yeah. Well, and it happens too, right? Like bullpen arms are flaky. You have bullpen arms come out of nowhere. They're great one year,
Yes.
bad the next, or they're bad one year, great the next. It's hard to find consistent bullpen help. So I think the smart thing is, get as many good arms in your bullpen and hopefully one or two hits.
And I think it's telling that we brought back Drew French as he's going into his second year as as a pitching coach for the team. I think that's a statement on the surprise that the pitching was last year in the bullpen and building that bullpen, that I think we have a really strong bullpen this year.
I'm curious to see our bullpen because, I mean, I like the idea. I mean, certainly, I think a lot of it's going to come down to the effectiveness of Felix Bautista and his return. If he's good and if he's
Felix,
like he was, it makes everyone obviously better, right? You can move down Cano and Jonathan Dominguez,
right?
And all of a sudden, it does look pretty good,
right? And if you think and if those guys can pitch the way they did last year, then it looks dominant and the type of bullpen that shortens games.
Yeah. But if Bautista for some reason isn't what he once was, then I think it just looks like an average bullpen.
I agree. There is a lot riding on one person.
Yeah. The other talking about news and notes, there's two things I want to talk about.
Uniforms?
Okay, you can touch on the orange uniforms.
I love the orange uniforms. I believe we have talked on this podcast many times before about how they need to bring back the orange uniforms.
I believe you and Bert maybe have talked about it while I sat in the back.
And I love the new spring training caps as well, which are predominantly orange with a black O's on it.
Oh, I haven't seen those.
Oh, it's an orange hat with a black brim and a black O on it, and that looks pretty sharp. Yeah,
I do say, I mean, it's kind of like throwback, right? The orange.
It's the 70s, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not big in uniforms commentary, but I'm a fan. I'll just say that I'm a fan of these orange unis.
It's like color rush in the NFL.
Yeah, and I feel like so often uniforms wrong, but they got this one right. So
these are better than the City Connects. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
and people are gonna love them versus the City Connect, which took time to grow on you.
Yep. I agree. I'm a fan. Have you gotten the hat yet?
I have not.
The jersey?
I have not. The pants?
Yeah, the pants.
I already have an orange shirt. I just need the pants.
You just need the pants to go with it.
Right.
Is your new softball team? Are they orange? Can you wear those orange pants?
I don't know what color we are. Maybe I need to look into the orange pants anyway. Matt, I had softball tonight, and I am here to tell you that I am the old man. As you know, I took a break and did not play softball in the fall. So that team disbanded without me realizing it until it was too late, and that's why I took the fall off.
Right.
So I was determined to find a team in the spring. So
how does one go about? How does a bachelor like yourself, a free agent,
well, that's the
go
problem.
about looking for a softball team?
I don't know anyone down here.
Yeah.
So I went to a Facebook group.
And your church, you can't go to. I would just keep on going to different churches until I found a good softball team.
I do go to a bunch of different churches, but I have not been invited to a softball team yet.
Okay.
So I went on a Facebook group that was for teams looking for players that play in this league. And I said, and really it's like just to communicate league stuff or find subs for certain games and stuff. And I went on there and said, hey, I would like to play in the spring. If anyone has a slot, let me know.
Did you list your age?
I did not.
Did you list any of your stats?
I did not.
Okay.
Oh, I said
scouting video.
I said I'm a pitcher because pitchers are always in demand.
Okay.
So someone messaged me, and here's the problem with the message.
Yeah.
First problem with the message is it was one of these like husband and wife share a Facebook account. So it's both their names in it.
Yeah.
So I don't know who I'm talking to.
From? Yeah. And there's no sign off saying at the end who it's from.
Right. So I got a message, got invited to join a team. Only catch is it's co-ed.
Okay.
And I haven't played co-ed in a long, long time. I kind of have avoided co-ed because, as you know, I sent
you've had some bad experiences with co-ed.
A mother and her daughter to the hospital.
Yeah.
So I've had bad experiences.
But in Florida, they use the nets, so you should be okay.
Right. We've got the cages, and I'm older, so I'm like, you know what? Maybe co-ed will be more relaxing for me. and more enjoyable. So I said, all right, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So this was a few weeks ago. Tonight was they've had practices. Tonight was the first practice that I could attend.
Okay.
And
It's already
there.
serious with practices. We never did practices back
Exactly.
then, but okay.
and it's not practices like 6 people are there. There's like 9 people there.
Wow,
The entire team is there.
Yeah.
And they've already had a couple practices without me. So I show up and I realize they're already out in the field. I realize, oh, all eyes are on me. And while I'm putting on my cleats, they tell me, all right, well, you're the pitcher. Go on out there and start pitching. And take over from the guy who was pitching.
Okay.
So
Just throw you in. I love that. Yeah.
Instantly, I didn't get a chance to stretch. I didn't warm up with anyone. I didn't talk to anyone. I said hi, met one lady, and went out to pitch.
All business. Sure.
All business. I haven't pitched in a while, a year or so.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm
You
trying
haven't been
to.
staying warm in the off season?
I haven't been staying warm.
No.
I am pitching, and I'm short a bunch, and I'm working my arm up, and my arm's super tight. I can feel it, not feeling right.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to lock it in so people can hit, and I lock it in, and I'm all right. A guy comes up and tries to give me pitching advice,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I've done this for 20 years. I'm all right.
Yeah.
I just have to warm up. It's been one of those years where I haven't played, and I keep doing it, and practice is from 6:30 to 8:30.
Ooh, 2 hours.
So I already
Serious.
work in there that I got to leave like 8:10, 8:15 to come home and do the podcast.
Yeah. Oh, this is tonight?
This was tonight. So
Okay.
I am out there, and I pitched to a bunch of people, and I got there at 6:30, and I've said hi to people only as they're going up to bat,
Right.
and don't know anything about anyone except names. That's the only conversation. Anyway, that's whatever. I'm fine. I'm there to play softball. I realize as I go out on the mound and everyone's watching me, this is basically tryouts for me.
Yeah.
So I did struggle some, but then I nailed it in, and I think I did all right.
Okay.
I then went up to bat, and I was so sore from pitching. Well, I guess I should tell you, first I was pitching, and I look at my watch, and it's like 6:55, and I thought it was 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Okay.
I was like, it's almost over, and I look, and it's 25 minutes.
You
I
just
go-
get into it. Yeah, you're just getting started. Yeah.
And then I go up for my turn to bat, and I am so tight and trying to swing that I'm making contact, I'm hitting the ball, and I did pretty good, but I did about 10 hits and then called it and said, I got enough. I'm good.
Yeah.
I got to save the arm for pitching. Went out and pitched like one more, looked at my clock, and it was like 7:30. And I'm like, oh, I got to get going. And took off because I was so sore
Oh man.
and so just worn down. And everyone else on this team is under 30 years old,
Yeah.
or at least under 40. There might be some in their 30s.
Yeah.
But this is a young team, and I'm the old guy out there who quit on practice early, said my wife needed the car
Yeah.
so that I could sneak out of practice early.
I hope you're
because
not
I'm
listening to this
too old.
podcast.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But so that was a rough softball experience. I'm going to be using some different machines at the gym and starting to stretch so I don't look as bad next week.
Okay. I want to put everyone's under 40. I mean, LeBron James is over 40 and he's still a dominant NBA player. So I don't appreciate you throwing shade at people in their 40s.
Dominant. I don't know about dominant.
He just had 40-some points against the Warriors the other day.
Yeah, one game.
No, Josh, that's quite embarrassing.
So
You
it
didn't
was-
do a good job of keeping yourself in shape in the offseason.
Oh, and I know because this was a group I met on Facebook group, I, of course, knew no one there.
Yeah.
So it was all pure tryout, and I
Oh, yeah.
struggled.
There's some group chat happening about you right now.
Oh, after I left,
Yeah,
I
that's true.
guarantee. I was definitely like, what's everyone in the outfield saying about me while I'm struggling pitching this stupid bat in practice?
Yeah, that's some pressure. They don't make. I think you realize you live longer and you realize they don't make leagues like we had at BEP
They do.
where
It's called
What?
a church league.
Josh, I'm in a church league at Georgia and it is nothing like
Oh, okay.
our church league.
Right.
I'm just saying that kind of
No,
any Joe Schmo can walk on here. I mean, we had people in their 60s and 70s.
they are more serious down here.
Yeah, and I don't appreciate that. I feel like it's a little bit like how pickleball has been taken over by young people. I hate young people play pickleball. It's embarrassing. Pick up a tennis racket,
Right.
you
You can-
lazy bums. And I
Sure,
feel
yeah.
the same way about softball. Play in a basketball league, play in a real baseball league. Save the softball for people 40 and over. Sick
Well,
of these young people. Oh, look how I can dominate hitting a slow pitch softball.
yeah.
Shut up. Though I was that person not too long ago.
Right.
We were
right.
those people not too long ago.
Well, it's the first time that I felt old on the softball field.
Yeah, but if you went
And-
back and played in our old BEP team, Josh,
Oh,
you
it
wouldn't
beats still
feel old.
dominant. No, exactly.
It's these
Exactly.
leagues. They've gotten too serious and too good.
They
There's
are.
too many athletic people playing. Softball is supposed to be for people who are unathletic, out of shape,
There's
maybe
too many.
with some health issues.
There is.
That's
there's-
who's supposed to play in softball.
I don't
Not
know-
young, healthy people in their 30s.
I don't know why, but down here you get a lot of former college baseball players.
Yes, what is that?
I don't
What
know.
is that?
I don't know. You get a lot of that down here, though.
I know. That's what every time you play, people start whispering, "Oh, I can play in single A for some team." What?
Yep.
Played in single A? What?
I know. I
is
had this guy.
Softball.
I had this guy that used to crush everything I hit. I pitched to him, and finally I figured him out and started to get him out once in a while. But he was the guy everyone would whisper. He was in the Diamondbacks minor league system.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
And I guess, listen, if I dropped out of the system, there's no baseball. At least I guess you go play softball.
right.
I don't know, pick up golf or something.
I don't know. We talk about how guys like the mental exhaustion it must be on a Jackson Holiday to excel at every level and then get to the majors and struggle. Think about the guys who excel all through middle school, high school, college, and then they suck in the minors. Like,
So then
yeah,
they go
they've
back to church league softball to feel good about
Yeah,
themselves.
they got to come back to rec league softball in order to feel better about themselves, to go back to dominating.
There should be some qualifications in playing softball. Like your 40 time has to be over a certain number, or like you have to like give you the bench, but you like if you lift over 80 pounds, you're not allowed.
Well, I
They
think
should use
there's
some balls, and you have to drop at least 25% of the balls. They
Well,
should
I
do
don't
some
know.
qualification exams here to play
I don't know,
softball.
because I enjoyed when I had the young college kids in my outfield as a pitcher because we won games. We went to the championship game because they caught everything that went out there.
I guess.
That's where one of those guys is a banana now.
I guess. But don't you like playing with some of the ineptitude we had at BP? I kind of like that the
Sure.
fact that you had a bunch of unathletic
Knuckleheads.
out there running around. It kind of
Sure.
made it fun. Now you can't even do that. You can't even do that because everything's not
No,
serious.
everything's
so
way too serious here. No, we also didn't have umpires back then. Well,
Yeah.
I guess we did have some.
Yeah, we had umpires. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Hey,
So-
speaking of unserious,
Yes.
what is this talk about? Can you clarify this for me? This Padres Dylan Cease trade talk.
Yeah.
They said that the Padres inquired about Westberg, Mayo, Basayo. Josh,
Yes. For Dylan Cease, like they wanted multiple of those guys.
they wanted one of those guys, right? Or they wanted.
No, they wanted
This
like
is
two
what's
to
not clear to
three.
me because straight up 1-for-1, I still probably won't do it. But were they asking for more than one of these guys?
Let's see. Yeah, they were asking for Jordan Westberg plus Kobe Mayo and Samuel Basello. They were asking for three guys.
No, I can't imagine that.
It's right here. I'm on SI.com.
Okay.
Prelly reported looked into a deal to bring Jordan Westberg plus prospects Kobe Mayo and Samuel Basello, who previously weren't on the table for an impending free agent Cease trade, per Masson Sports Rock Kubaco.
Okay. Well,
It's
that's
ridiculous.
insane. That's
It's
insane.
Exactly. Is that what Michael Ice has to deal with out there?
Yeah. Like I want to do it. I would not do it for. I mean, he's a free agent. He's also a free. I mean, this is like
It's half a year or
a Corbin
it's one
Burns
season.
situation.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a free agent after this year. And so the comp would be Joey Ortiz and DL Hall.
Yes.
And so
And do you know what Cease's? Where's our biggest struggle with pitching? The playoffs?
Yeah.
Do you know what Dylan Cease's playoff record is?
I don't
ERA
know.
is
Is it not good?
14.4.
Okay. But Josh, all those players are better than Joey Ortiz or DL Hall.
Yes.
Right? Joey Ortiz is like a defensive first prospect, maybe bottom of the 100 list.
Right.
And then DL Hall has potential, but he was injured all the time.
Right. He might be more Kobe Mayo level.
Yeah, but with a lot more question marks because of the injuries.
Yes. Correct.
And so Jordan Westberg is better than I think both those guys combined. Kobe Mayo is better than those guys, and Basayo might be the best of the bunch. So wouldn't it make sense to even do a 1-for-1 for 1 year of Dylan Cease? It doesn't even make sense to do 1-for-1.
No, it doesn't.
Let alone multiple guys.
Right. And it's like, that's where I'm like, okay, Michael Elias, don't make any trades. People are crazy.
I mean, maybe you could convince me that Enrique Bradfield could pair him with someone else for a Dylan Cease. Like, then you could say, okay, like I could see that. That doesn't make sense. And I know, like, I feel like the Orioles are in a weird spot.
Right.
Where because you traded Ortiz and Connor Norby and Kyle Stowers.
Right. You're out of the high A's.
Well, yeah, we have top guys, Basayo and Mayo.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have kind of down for
Right.
a while, right? There's no kind of mid-level back-end top 100 guys. Maybe Enrique Bradfield, but that's kind of it. And so you don't have your Kyle Stowers, your Connor Norbys, your Joey Ortiz to get this deal done.
Yes. Right. Your next top guys is Vance Honeycutt and Dylan Beavers, who are years away.
Yeah, and who have a lot of question marks. Like they're
Yeah.
not top 50, even top 100 prospects.
Right.
And so if you're the Padres, it can be a little tricky, right? Like who do you want for Dylan Cease? You want to get an impact guy. And if it's not one of those guys, we don't have anything to really offer you because Enrique Bradfield, even Enrique Bradfield's a question mark if he can hit.
But you just asked for 3 top guys.
Yeah, I know. So that doesn't make sense. But even one of them doesn't make sense. But I guess I kind of understand one of them because the Orioles don't have anything below them.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jordan Westberg, there's zero chance the Orioles trade Jordan Westberg. Right?
Of course. No, I think Jordan Westberg is one of my top guys that they need to lock up long time right away. Because I think he's cheap. I think you can get him on the low end right now.
Who would you rather have? If you could keep one, like how would you rank these 3? Jordan Westberg, Samuel Basayo, and Kobe Mayo. How would you rank those guys?
I would have Westberg as 1.
In terms of trade prospects, in terms of like unwillingness to trade.
Oh, yeah. Westberg. Because he's proven it. Yeah, because he's proven it.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. Yeah, I would go Westberg, Basayo, and Mayo.
Right. Basayo might have a higher upside, but he hasn't proven it yet.
Yeah. Yeah. And you give me a sure everyday major leaguer. I'll take that all day.
Yep.
Prospects are prospects. Yeah. I've seen enough prospects not turn out to, yeah.
Yep. Exactly. I don't care where they're ranked. I mean, look at Jackson Holiday. We trust that Jackson Holiday will get it together. But if he could never get it together and be a bust. We've seen it too many times. I don't think Jackson Holiday will be a bust. I'm not saying that. He'll be fine.
Yeah, he better be. I'm sorry. I just keep on looking at the Cedric Mullins page, and I can't. The 5 outfielders make so much sense because to me, Cedric Mullins,
old man Mullins.
Yeah, he's had a couple down seasons now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it just makes sense.
He had that record season for him, the 30-30 season. And then we gave him this like leash as he keeps going downhill.
Yeah, I mean, it's OBP over the last 3 years. This is OBP is 318, 305, 305. I mean, the past 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, consistently.
That's why last
2023,
season,
116 games, batted 223. Last year, 147 games, batted 234. You can't do better?
That's why I was surprised last season that they traded Austin Hayes over Cedric Mullins.
Yeah, but people say, well, you got Ramon Laureano, so you're going to trade Cedric Mullins. What's Cedric Mullins' trade value right now? For another year?
No, it's not much.
He's got no trade value.
Yeah.
So I think you keep him. I'm hoping he has a bounce back year. But if not, I mean, he still put up a 2.6 WAR last year, despite those kind of pedestrian offensive numbers. I think because of what he does base running defensively. But if you can get it, like last year, he played 147 games. Those numbers don't warrant 147 games. If you can use them more strategically against certain matchups and play them in 100 games, and that will allow you more playing time with some of the other outfielders because you have the depth to do it, it just makes a lot of sense in the world. So I don't think you need to trade anybody.
I agree.
All right. Sorry to go back. We're backtracking.
I know. Before we get out of here, what do you think of this projected starting rotation for the Orioles? Zach Eflin, Grayson Rodriguez, Charlie Morton, Dean Kramer, Tommy Segura. Are you comfortable with that 5-man rotation?
Yeah.
All right. Do you think that's a perfectly fine rotation?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel good about it too.
Did you mention, and you didn't mention Kate Povich in there, right?
No.
I don't know why you hate on Kate Povich.
He just this numbers game on this. This is a Bleacher Report list. They do list other candidates are Albert Suarez, Trevor Rogers, Cade Povich, and Chase McDermott. But you're right. I think there's a chance, especially as Segura gets used to MLB. They've got a 6-man rotation in Japan. I don't know why you wouldn't use Cade Povich and go 6-man.
Yeah, and I think Chase McDermott's going to be an interesting guy to watch too.
I think he might end up in the bullpen.
Yeah, along with Albert Suarez.
Yes. And I don't have high hopes for Trevor Rogers. He'll have to be in AAA and prove himself back up.
Yeah. No, I think that gets the job done. And then you wait till Kyle Bradish gets back. And then
and Tyler Wells.
Yeah, and Tyler Wells.
We saw Tyler Wells excel for half a season, and now we might only have him for half a season. So maybe.
Yeah, but Kyle Bradish has.
Yeah, I feel better about Kyle Bradish. Sure.
Wells. And so I feel good about the rotation. I mean, I'm curious about, like, I feel like if you look at kind of who you have the most confidence in, I feel like Grayson Rodriguez, it's going to be an important year for him. I feel like it's time for him to
become an
live
ace.
up to the hype a little bit and kind of and have a and become a really good starter. Like,
and
he
stay
is
healthy.
almost like we talked about him having the potential of being a 1 or 2 starter.
Yes.
Seems to first couple of years be a little bit inconsistent, maybe a 3 starter.
Right.
Which is fine. But he has the stuff to be a 1 or 2. So I want to see this year if he can make that jump to a 1 or 2.
No, I agree. I want to see that, and I think Charlie Morton's an important piece to this team. If he can get the type of depth and number of innings under his belt that he got for the Braves, I think that's an important part of this team with the young staff.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the wild card for me is also kind of this Segano. He's a bit of a wild card because, it's so dominant in Japan. How will this off-speed kind of junk stuff translate? It's going to be interesting to watch.
No, I agree. They've got him ranked as the 5th starter. I hope that goes up. I hope if he performs as well here as he does in Japan, it'll go up, and he'll be a higher in the rotation the next year. Yeah.
And the other thing that's kind of the backdrop of all this for all major league teams, but especially with pitching, is that health factor, right?
Yes.
So we got to see spring training. Someone inevitably will have tweaked something and miss a little bit of time. Hopefully no serious injuries. So that's something to watch for as well. I mean, if you want to say good news is our rotation seems to be really balanced. So like last year, Corbin Burns went out for 2 months. That would have been like a death now.
Well, we're
still balanced, and there's no one that's dominant. That you would lose someone for a little bit. I don't think it's a big of a deal.
Yes, you're saying balanced by stuff, but it's not balanced. It's 5 right-handed pitchers.
Well, Cade Povich is a lefty, but yeah. If you don't count him. Oh, I didn't realize it's 5 righties. I guess
it's 5 righties. Yeah.
Charlie Morton, Grayson, Zach. Yeah, I guess they're all righties.
And then are the guys we're hoping to get back in the summer, Bradish and Wells, also righties.
Yeah.
Trevor Rogers is a lefty, and Cade Povich is a lefty. So that's why
Rogers.
We might see those guys worked into the rotation.
Yeah. And that's, similar situation in the bullpen too, right? Like Bautista, Cano, Dominguez, all righties. I guess we got our lefties are Perez, Aiken, and Soto.
Do you think that's because we built the team? We built the team to avoid the short left field porch?
No, I mean, I don't. I think that's just
how it worked out.
It's harder to get elite lefties.
Yeah, I guess so. No, you're right.
I mean, we could have not traded DL Hall. There's another lefty we could have had, but
all right.
But yeah, that's going to be a problem with, and I don't know how that stacks up. It's just an interesting point. Like Yankees and Red Sox, how does their lineup stack up against lefties? It might be something interesting to watch. I mean, how does it stack up against righties as opposed to lefties?
Right.
Might be something interesting to watch if we're at a disadvantage there.
And that's where you might see, oh, it's a long week. Let's mix in Trevor Rogers or Cade Povich.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Even if they're doing
maybe a little bit
Norfolk
surprised that they didn't try to get a lefty starter in there to balance things out. But
yeah, and the Orioles still might, but who do you then send to the minors? That's the problem. When you look at those five, you're not going to put Zach Eflin in the minors. You're not going to put Grayson Rodriguez. You're not going to put Charlie Morton down there. You're not going to put Dean Kramer down there. You're not going to put Segona down there. You've got no one to put down below.
Yeah.
Unless someone hurts himself in the spring. I mean,
yeah, you could temporarily move someone to the bullpen. But yeah, I think that's 5 is pretty locked in. But I'm curious to see, like, if Cade Povich has a great spring, can he?
Well, I think that's where you go with a little 6-man, because I think you can't pull any of those 5.
Yeah, but doesn't that thin you out in the bullpen a little bit?
It does.
I heard that was part of it. Did you hear Freeman? I heard an interview with Freeman, the GM of the Dodgers, and when they kind of pitched Roki Sasaki, one of their pitches was, because of the rules, Shohei Ohtani is listed as a position player, even though he's pitches. So they can carry 13 pitchers plus Ohtani, 14, which makes it easier to do the 6-man rotation. It's kind of interesting.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's
so the other options, the Orioles could try to get one of their pitchers to hit.
Yeah,
and
yes,
and be listed on the roster as a hitter.
Yeah, that's right. I wonder how many at bats you need to qualify.
Yeah, and which Orioles hitters which Orioles pitchers most likely to fill that role?
And really, it doesn't matter, because it's not even though there's the rules of a certain number of pitchers, it doesn't matter, because it's more about, you don't want to waste that spot by a guy who can't help you with the at bat.
Yeah, especially if we're keeping 5 outfielders.
Right. So, all right, any other news on your desk?
Manuel Rivera was
he cleared waivers.
He passed through waivers and will be at Norfolk, so that's good news.
So more depth.
Yeah. That's all I got.
All right. Well, we're in good shape. Finally, next week when we talk, we'll see Orioles playing baseball.
Yeah. I'm pumped.
Or at least stretching and warming up.
Have they announced this always is a great story that makes everyone mad, including me. Have they announced the games that we televised this spring yet?
I have not heard anything.
Okay.
And remember, Steve Molesky used to do the radio broadcast where it'll be all staticky, and he would do it from like his laptop or something.
Yeah.
And he's not with Masson anymore, so I assume he's not doing that anymore.
It would be awkward if he was doing it.
Right.
At least not doing it with Masson.
Right. So yeah, I don't know. I know
has Steve Molesky reached out to you yet to start a podcast?
No, he is with Baltimore Baseball.
He already picked up with Baltimore Baseball?
He did, yeah.
That was fast.
Yeah.
I like BaltimoreBaseball.com, Josh. Do you subscribe to their newsletter?
No, do they have a newsletter?
Yeah. They do. I subscribe.
Is it better than my newsletter?
It's fine. It's more like their blogs. It's not really a newsletter. It's just their blogs.
And I started mine. Originally, I thought I was going to do a blog. And then I said, no, it's better if I just do like a rundown of links. And be like, here's everyone that already wrote stuff.
I agree. But the only issue I have with their blog, and I read it sometimes, is it's hard for me to even read the article, because there are so many, and I know there's a problem everywhere, but especially on our baseball, so many ads.
Yeah, well,
so many ads. It's hard to even navigate. I don't even know.
No, you got to do the reader view
because of all the ads.
Do you use Safari?
I use Chrome.
All right, open it up in Safari. That's what I do. And you can click on Reader View. Up in the top next to where it says Baltimore Baseball, there's a little square. You click there and you hit Show Reader View. And then it gets rid of everything but the article.
You're telling me to use a Safari browser? I thought everyone and their mother said Safari browsers is out of here, is old news, is garbage, and everyone should use Chrome or Firefox. You're telling me to go back to Safari?
I use Safari all the time.
This is like going back to 2010 for me.
Look at this, though. Here's what you're talking about. See all these ads?
Yeah. Look at that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So watch this. I go up here. I click this square, and I hit Show Reader, and check that out.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Isn't that nice? That's how.
Is that an option on Chrome, or no? It's just a Safari thing.
I think it's a Safari thing.
Oh, all right.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't use.
I have to find if I even have Safari on my computer.
Right. I mean, I use Chrome, but I also use Safari, and I specifically use Safari to read blogs because of those ads.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, good for Steve Molesky for picking up a spot so fast, and good for Baltimore Baseball for having the means to be able to bring him on.
Yeah. No, it's good. I do like that site.
Yeah. Our boy Rich Duproff, friend of the show.
They definitely have some money invested because they've got guys writing, real new journalists writing every single day over there.
Yeah, and guys who are able to travel. Like
right.
Duproff is there interviewing Elias in person.
Exactly.
He's not just sitting at home. So they have some resources, which is great.
Yeah, that's good. But I feel bad when companies like Utah Street Report have to compete with that.
No, I agree, but it's also nice to have an alternative as opposed to the Orioles paid Masson guys.
It's all better than Masson.
Yeah.
Just like this podcast.
Right. Yeah.
Better than Masson. Nice to have stuff away from the corporate.
Away from the mainstream media, Josh. We can tell what's real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get out of here.
Was Donald Trump booed or cheered last night? Viewers want to know. Let's get out of here.
I thought he was cheered and Taylor was booed.
No. But
is there controversy?
Yeah. If you go on, I saw this on Twitter. If you look at the German broadcast, it shows that he was booed, but in Fox in America, they plugged in cheer sounds. That's just what people are saying.
That's funny. I thought all the conspiracy theories were like the other way around, that the media hates Trump, so they would boo here and it would be cheers in Japan.
Fox loves Trump.
So it was on Fox. That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring politics into this at the end.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Oh, Josh, let's wrap it up. Love that. Didn't take the bait anymore. All right.
No, we've been an hour and 7 minutes.
I know. We're going overtime here.
And I want people to subscribe to Birdland Today, the newsletter, and listen to the Birdland Today podcast, where I don't touch politics.
All right. Let's keep it that way. You can follow us. Go ahead, if you haven't yet, and write us a review on Apple Podcasts, or just give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and go on about your day. It helps the show, helps the reach. You can follow us on all your social media platforms, including X. You can follow me on X at Section336. You follow Josh on X
at Josh Soroka.
Thanks for listening, boys and girls. And as always, go O's.